Hey, what's up everybody? Landon with LMR.com. In this video, we're going to be checking out the SVE polyurethane engine mounts that have been newly redesigned at the time of this video, designed for a 1984 to 1995 small block Ford Mustang. So the reason why you would be considering upgrading to a polyurethane motor mount over, let's say, a traditional rubber motor mount would be because you want a motor mount that reduces deflection, whenever the engine torques over. And that's what the polyurethane is going to do versus a traditional rubber mount. Not to mention, the SVE polyurethane mounts are just a little bit more heavy duty because of the materials throughout. All right, so now let's move into some of the details on the new motor mounts, as well as address the elephant in the room. And that elephant in the room is the old style motor mount. We sold those for several years. They served their purpose, but as time went on, they started to develop material issues. And in a nutshell, and keeping it simple, the harder polyurethane material on the older mount would just disintegrate. They could disintegrate as soon as you put them in the car. It could be a couple hundred miles, it could be a couple thousand miles, it could be a year, it could be 2 years. It really just all depended on the motor mount. So with those documented failures, we turned our attention to chase a all new motor mount that we built and designed from the ground up. We didn't just take what we already had, move it to a different supplier and say, hey, here you go, here's the new and improved motor mount. We didn't want to do any of that. Started from scratch because we felt like that was the right thing to do. And when you do that, it takes time. And these new motor mounts took us, kind of right at a year and a little bit over a year to get right and kind of see it through the research and development phase. So we'll start with the polyurethane material on the new motor mount. This has a short A hardness of 80 versus the harder short A hardness of 90 on the old mount. We tested a few other hardnesses, but we felt like 80 was the sweet spot for this particular application. The next thing we addressed were a little bit tighter tolerances. That's difficult to show on camera, but whenever we were drawing these up, we did see some areas of improvement to where we could do with like the two clamshell halves, as well as where the polyurethane gets encapsulated into the center section of the motor mount. And then the last area here of improvement will be the yellow zinc coating. The old mount had a very splotchy, inconsistent yellow zinc coating at times. The new mount has a very uniform and consistent yellow zinc coating. And then when you see them side by side, the new motor mount looks way better than the old one. All right, so breaking these down a little bit further, yellow zinc coating, steel construction throughout. This is 1/8 inch thick steel, heavy duty stuff. And then the two halves or the clamshell portion will be secured with class 8/8 hardware. The stud is accurately placed and pre-installed. This will also incorporate the factory thread pitch. Speaking of that factory thread pitch, we do include hardware with these motor mounts. You'll get 2 retaining nuts that secure the motor mount to the K-member, and then you'll get 4 bolts that secure the motor mount to the engine block. We actually weighed both engine mounts. We weighed the SVE polyurethane mounts as well as the convertible style mounts. The convertible style mounts tip the scale at about 6.44 pounds. Let's just call it 6.5 for simplicity purposes. And then the SVE motor mounts tip the scale at 11 pounds on the nose. So for simple math, that's about 4.5 pounds heavier. It's marginal in the grand scheme of things, but that goes to show you just how heavy duty these mounts are in comparison to the convertible style mount that we took off of the car. And then the next one is going to be something I think you'll want to key in on, especially for those of us that already have tight clearances between our intake manifold and the underside of our hood. And that's going to be how much the engine was raised with the SVE polyurethane mounts. The before and after measurements with the convertible style mounts was about 2 5/8, and then with the SVE motor mounts, I clocked it at about 2 13/16 to 2 7/8. So that's about 3/16 to 1/4 inch higher with the SVE polyurethane motor mounts versus the convertible style motor mount. So if you're watching this video, height is of a concern to you, maybe take a few measurements before you purchase these motor mounts. I know there's a lot of variables to consider when it comes to this particular stuff, but this could still be some sort of metric and benchmark that you can use to make sure everything is still going to work the way you want. And I just took a straight edge off of the factory K-member and measured the bottom of the oil pan. I know if you have an aftermarket K-member or if you're running a different oil pan, those numbers are obviously going to be just a little bit different than what you would record, but you can still use the measurements for reference purposes. As far as fitment goes, we list 1984 to 1995 because that is a bolt-in, drop-in, ready to go fitment, but these will work for 1979 to 1983 applications if you slot the opening in the K-member to accept the larger stud in the SVE polyurethane motor mount. All right, everybody, so I think that's a good solid rundown. So I'm gonna jump over here to the 1990 GT we call two-tone and get these installed. But before we do, I do wanna make just one small note. If you are still running a clutch fan and shroud, make sure you take that out of the car because I got ahead of myself. I was excited to get these in the car and I forgot to take it out. And I was lifting the engine, trying to get the motor mounts out. I'm like, what the heck? Why isn't the engine going up as far as I need it to go? Well, I looked up and was like, oh shucks, I forgot the clutch fan and the shroud. So make sure you get that out of the way and these will come out no problem at all. All right, so to begin, since you'll be kind of working near the starter somewhat on the passenger side, I would go ahead and disconnect the negative battery cable just to do it. Make sure your hood is open as well. After that, then you can safely lift the car via a lift or a jack and jack stands. The next thing to do is going to be to loosen and remove the nuts securing the motor mount to the K-member. These will have a 21mm wrenching size. Once the motor mount nuts are loose, you can loosen the two nuts securing the transmission mount to the transmission crossmember. Once those are out of the way, you can lift the engine from either the harmonic balancer or the front sump section of the oil pan. If you're lifting it from the oil pan, just be sure you get that position correctly so you don't induce any damage. Same goes for the harmonic balancer. Once you lift the engine up enough to where you feel like you can get the motor mount out, you can loosen the two bolts securing the motor mount to the engine block. On the driver's side, you will have to take about 15 seconds to remove the oil filter in order to get the motor mount out of the way. Snake the new SVE polyurethane mount into place and loosely start the two retaining bolts. You can go ahead and fully tighten those and torque them to spec if you like torque specs. Clean up any oil that may have dripped out from the engine block. Inspect your mating surfaces, wipe those clean, and then you can reinstall the oil filter. Jumping over to the passenger side to rinse and repeat. Loosen the two bolts, securing the motor mount to the engine block. Snake that out of the way, and you will kind of have to dodge your fuel lines there that loop from the hard lines that run underneath the car to the lines that go up to the fuel rail. Situate the new SVE motor mount into place, and then install the two new retaining bolts on that side. Look over everything and then lower the engine back into place. I did notice that I had to start the nuts first, kind of get those going, and then lower the engine the rest of the way. And once you get that situated, you can go ahead and fully tighten and torque the nuts. So once all that looks good, you can go ahead and reinstall the two nuts securing the transmission crossmember to the transmission mount. While you're underneath the car, you can give everything a final once over, then you can get it down on the ground. Reinstall the fan assembly and shroud, reconnect the negative battery cable, and you're good to go. All right, everybody, so that's a wrap. That's, again, a quick rundown of the SVE polyurethane motor mounts, as well as pretty simple steps of how to install them into your small block Ford 84 to 95 Fox body or SN95 Mustang. Really good option for anybody that's looking to upgrade from a pretty busted set of motor mounts, or you may even have a newer set of rubber mounts and you're wanting to upgrade to something with a little bit more rigidity. Definitely consider the SVE polyurethane motor mounts. But that's it, we're gonna sign off. As always, if you find value in what we're doing, please consider liking the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and then until we see the next one for all things Fox body and SN95, keep it right here with the real enthusiasts, LMR.com.